So I'm often asked, how do we keep our customers secure? Has anyone ever looked at what the amount of cookie trackers that companies just put out there? They will collect everything they can possibly collect because they just say, give it all to me. Well, that winds up meaning that there's a very rich source for data. So one of the ways in which you can protect yourself is by utilizing some free products. That one of them is called Ghostery. So on your own self, for your own browsers, Ghostery is a great product that will help block all of these kind of cookie trackers. Another one, if you're, is sponsored by the EFF, and it's called Privacy Badger. Privacy Badger is pretty draconian in how they basically force everything down, but it might be worth it. I use both. So one of the things in order to protect myself and my own data is I use 3 browsers at all times on my Mac. The first one is Safari. Have to use it, it's kind of there. So with Safari, I wind up taking it to make, I only accept TLS 1.1 and above, and then I use Ghostery. But that doesn't mean that everything is going to work properly on the browser, because there are certain aspects of that the server side is looking to receive, and if it doesn't receive it, your connection may not establish. The next, if that fails, then I go to Mozilla. Mozilla is using Privacy Badger, but then I accept different algorithms. And if that one doesn't work, I go to Google Chrome. And I just keep it all wide open, because I figure at that point, Google's already going to know everything of what I'm doing. So no matter what protections I put in place, they already have it. So the reason for that is intent. Everything in which I'm doing, I have intent. If I have to choose, do I want to downgrade my security in order to have X? And if the answer to that is yes, then I go and do it. And if it doesn't work with my next level down, do I really want to do it? Depending on if I know what kind of site it is, then I might open up a virtual machine, and I might go through some analytics first before I wind up actually getting it into the main portion of the operating system. But when doing that, I have these VMs that I basically call goats, because I know I'm going to sacrifice it. It's only going to live for that specific moment, and it's just going to die. So the other part, and when we start talking about that, constantly look at the aspect of least privilege. Don't give systems or people more privileges than that are necessary. I can't tell you how many times that you wind up finding out that someone had overprivileged systems, and that's how they wind up getting exploit. Also understand what kind of data you have that's not encrypted. That's the easiest thing. In all the penetration tests that I've done, not only in the government but personal, I have never once had to try to break encryption. I don't have to, because the user is going to do something that's going to make it easy for me to get around it. You never have to break encryption. So the encryption key doesn't matter, because most people are going to use something that's easy for them to remember, because they're not going to use a password manager, because they don't want to be inconvenienced. One of the things, another thing that I love to say is never underestimate an end user on a deadline, because if security is in their way, they can and will go around you. Think Target. The HVAC systems being hooked up to the network. Probably the best example is the CEO from Starbucks 2 years ago said the reason in which they did not secure their mobile app, which by the way, Starbucks takes more financial transactions than any other company in the world. They did not secure their mobile app. The CEO came out and said that we didn't feel it was necessary to protect that application. It's got your credit card information in it. And those were his exact words.